In one of our previous videos on how to build a sports brand from scratch, we discussed the basic foundations that make up a great sports brand. And in today's second video, we'll talk about how you can market that sports brand you have built. Hey guys, welcome to Creative, where we help athletes, sports marketers, and athletic business owners build legacy brands beyond the game. Every Tuesdays and Thursdays, we talk about solutions that can truly change the business of sports. Today, we'll be discussing how you can market the sports brand you've built. We'd love for you to tackle that subscribe button and that notification bell so you don't miss out on anything in the future. Going back to our first video on building a brand for a sports brand, we talked about the elements that a sports brand needs in order for it to thrive and survive in today's very competitive market. And let's say you've gotten all the foundations of your sports brand down. What should you do next? Well, you need to learn how to market that sports brand. Now, how you market your sports brand will depend on three things: your goal, your audience, and your brand's identity / positioning. Here's why. Yes, who your brand is, who its people are, and what goals it hopes to achieve dictates the kind of marketing approach that you'll use. Sure, other important elements like what's trending and what isn't may contribute to your decisions, but the three informative elements play a very heavy role in what your marketing campaigns will look like. So how does the brand identity fit into your marketing strategy? Well, going back to our discussion in our first video, we talked about how branding is a constant process of shaping your image. Now, just because you've done your homework on the basics of sports brands means that it shouldn't stop there. To ensure recognition and awareness, your marketing campaign should reflect who your brand is, from the way that it looks, the way that it feels, as well as the way it communicates with your audiences. Your fan base should be able to figure out that it's your brand trying to reach out to them by the colors that represent them, the tone of voice, and even the positioning and where you sit in the market. All these elements of your brand identity will dictate your chosen marketing approach. For example, if your brand is meant to represent honest family care, then your marketing should focus on showcasing your brand's family-friendly services. On the other hand, if your brand's identity revolves around luxury, then your marketing campaign should embody the same thing. By the time that you've built your brand identity, you should be able to discern what kind of marketing approach would be best for you. Just like an athlete on the field, you need to set goals, or KPIs. While all marketing campaigns can be generally developed to help brands succeed, some goals can only be achieved through certain strategies. Like, take for example, those who want to establish a solid online presence are either using search engine optimization or nurturing through their social media marketing, while those who want to ensure great leads that can be converted into paying customers right away are going to implement paid social media or Google ads. Depending on what you really want to prioritize right now, your brand will probably explore a couple of different marketing strategies. Because when connected to one another in the right way, these seemingly different strategies can help you achieve the same goal. Again, your fan base. Of course, it's crucial that your marketing campaign actually works for your fan base, meaning that the messages and story actually move them in the desired direction. Your marketing approach will also be heavily dependent on who your fan base is, what their likes are, what their purchasing behaviors are, depending on how they spend most of their days and what they actually care about. Your approach can vary from one thing to another. If they like ensuring value for their money, then your marketing campaign will be centered around assurance and quality service. On the other hand, If your fan base cares about the positive experiences with your favorite brands, then your campaign should be centered around a great fan experience and bringing them value. These three elements are main drivers of a sports brand's marketing campaign, from the platforms that you use down to the way you'll communicate with your fan base. All of them will depend on these three things. So, what are those secrets to a great marketing campaign? Now that we know the elements that should influence your marketing campaign, it's only understandable to ask if these three factors are the only things that you need to succeed. The thing is, as important as these elements are, they're not the answer to everything. Sure, you could build an efficient marketing campaign based on these three foundations, but all of your hard work will be for nothing if you don't know how to implement them properly. So, besides going the right route of developing your campaign, you also need to implement them properly, meaning you need to learn how to keep your campaigns focused and your strategies consistent with your brand. Earlier, we've mentioned that in order for your brand to build recognition, your fan base should have a repeated and consistent positive experience with you. Oftentimes, when things start to get overwhelming during the implementation of their campaign, they start to lose ideas of the overall consistency of the campaign. Things start to look different and fans are often left feeling more confused than ever. And when things start to get confusing, that's the time that your marketing campaigns start to lose its effectiveness. Your marketing campaign should be able to help your brand raise awareness and improve recognition, regardless of what its main goal is. And frankly, it's difficult to establish these things through a campaign that isn't consistent. Your fan base should experience the same encounter that you presented them with in the first place, so that they can remember who you are the next time that they see you. And when we say that your brand should be consistent, we don't just mean through your visuals. It's not enough to just use your official colors on all of the posts you make across different platforms. You need to make sure that your messaging and your goal for your overall campaign is the same as well. This means that regardless of where you are, you communicate with your fan base the same way. Your tone of voice and language should still be the same, because similar to how users pick up cues through visuals, they easily identify the people they are taking through the language that you use around them. From the first time that they meet you down to the last transaction that you'll have with them, your brand should be consistent. By doing so, you get to build a strong sports brand and a great relationship with your customer. And at the end of the day, isn't that what makes everyone successful? Building a sports brand, or any brand for that matter, takes a lot of hard work and time. Successes and failures, like what we mentioned above, are those we see online that didn't happen overnight, and newcomers often think that developing, a simple logo is enough to establish a great brand. But in reality, there's so much work that goes through developing a sports brand. If you need more help going through the process of brand building, you can check out the rest of our videos on the brand build process. We hope you guys loved today's video, and if you want to learn more about the great solutions that can truly change the game, again, don't forget to tackle that subscribe button and hit that notification bell so you don't miss anything out in the future. Now, this is Zach with Creative, where business is our sport.